This video is about the cosmic timeline of Allah's creation. I will show you 8 major errors in this creation story. The Quran repeats over and over that the heavens and the earth were created in 6 days. This idea of creation is plagiarized from the book of Genesis and the Babylonian creation myth Enuma Elish. Although Quran is heavily plagiarized from ancient stories, this issue is not really our focus here. Now, New Age Muslims find this 6 days of creation to be a bit embarrassing, given that it does not fit with the narrative that the Quran contains many scientific miracles. So they came up with the argument that here a day does not literally mean an Earth day of 24 hours duration. It means some unknown long period of time. This argument is based on the fact that in Surah 22 verse 47, one day of Allah equals to 1000 days of earth, while in Surah 70 verse 4, it is 50,000 years. First, these verses are from different surahs. Next, even after multiplying by 1000 or 50,000, we don't get the right age of the universe. To get around this embarrassment, Muslims had to come up with the idea that here a day simply means some vague, long period of time. Now, there is a serious problem with this argument, and to explain this, I will use the social distancing example. According to the WHO guidelines, we are required to maintain a minimum of 6 feet distance from other people to reduce the chances of contracting COVID-19, right? Note that the number 6 is meaningless unless the unit, which in this case is feet, is specified. If you use, for example, meter as a unit, the number changes from 6 to 2. Now imagine that the guideline was instead to maintain 6 long units of distance. Guess what our reaction would be? There would be huge protests against WHO and our governments for making such a stupid, ambiguous rule. Long units of distance could mean just anything. Meters, kilometers, yards, miles, your newly discovered unit of length, whatever. In fact, the number 6 can now be replaced by any number you wish, any damn number. Since the unit is vague, how can the number be specific? So, don't you think that Allah is being reasonably unclear when He says He created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, where the unit days can mean just anything, and therefore 6 is also a meaningless number which can be replaced by any other number? However, the Quran repeatedly claims to be a book that is absolutely clear with detailed explanations. So don't you think there is a big contradiction here? Let's continue. We are just getting started here. Please bear with me. I will show you from Sahih Hadith that here days actually means a standard 24 hours day. At least in this context, I think the Quran is not unclear. It is the Muslims who are embarrassed with this 6 days creation and deliberately wants to make it vague. I will be going through Surah 41 verses 9 to 12. Say, do you indeed disbelieve in He who created the earth in 2 days and attribute to Him equals? That is the Lord of the worlds. So out of 6 days, earth took 2 days to be created. This is the picture of the earth during its initial stages. Note that according to the Quran, the earth was created before the heavens. This is also mentioned in the Surah 2 verse 29. It is He who created for you all of that which is on the earth. Then he directed himself to the heaven, his being above all creation, and made them 7 heavens, and he is knowing of all things. The Arabic word used here is thumma, which implies then or afterwards. And this is also mentioned in the tafsir of Ibn Kathir. Let me read the underlined part. Allah says that He created the earth first because it is the foundation, and the foundation should be built first, then the roof. Allah says elsewhere, He it is who created for you that is on the earth. Then He rose over the heavens and made them 7 heavens. Right? The same chronology also appears in the tafsir of Al-Jalalain while he was explaining a different verse. As he says, and after that he spread out the earth, he made it flat, for it had been created before the heaven, but without having been spread out. Back to 41:9. Okay, I hope everyone is happy with this picture. Now, there are some very serious issues here. If you have some basic understanding of cosmology, then you already know. We will discuss this issue very soon, but for now, let's continue. He placed therein, that is the earth, firm mountains from above it. Let's stop here. The translation of each Arabic word by word, from Corpus Qur'an website has been given to make it a point that mountains are placed on earth from above it. Like this. A primary school student knows how mountains are formed, but people in the 7th century Arabia didn't. When tectonic plates collide or undergo subduction, that is, ride over one another, the plates tend to buckle and fold, forming mountains. Mountains emerge from the movement happening below the earth's surface. They are not objects placed on the top of the earth. So this is a serious mistake in the Quran. He placed therein, that is the earth, firm mountains from above it, and he blessed it, and measured therein its sustenance for its dwellers in 4 days equal for all those who ask. So in 4 days, Allah established mountains, water, vegetation. Now, there is a confusion here. If preparing the earth took 4 days, then 6 days are gone, and no time is left to create the heavens. We will see very soon in verse 41:12 that the creation of heavens, which happened after the creation of the earth, took an additional 2 days, which would then make the total day count to 8, not 6. This is an apparent contradiction, and Muslims have come up with an argument. They say that out of the 4 days of earth's preparation, 2 days should be counted for the creation. Notice that and he placed, that is in Arabic waja'ala, is used here in the verse and not thumma or then. So I will say that the argument made by the Muslims is not wrong. I will only criticize where I find genuine issues. I still have a minor comment though. Given the high standards claimed by the Quran, it could have been made a lot clearer so as to avoid any confusions. Then he directed himself to the heaven while it was smoke, and said to it and to the earth, Come, willingly or by compulsion. They said, We have come willingly. Notice that then or thumma in Arabic has been used here. So the heavenly stuff started after Allah finished everything with the earth, and he finished the heaven actually in 2 days. And he completed them as 7 heavens within 2 days, and inspired in each heaven its command, and we adorned the nearest heaven with lamps and as protection. That is the determination of the exalted in might, the knowing. Here lamps mean stars. This fact is also confirmed in verses 67:5 and 37:6. This is the full picture that we get from the Quran verses 41:9 to 12. The sequence of the events and the time taken by different events are quite clear. Stars were created in the nearest heaven after the earth was created and prepared for life. And this timeline is in complete agreement with the verse 2:29. First, everything on the earth is created, then Allah directs Himself to the heaven and completes it. By the way, the concept of 7 heavens is found in Hinduism, Jainism, Judaism, Mesopotamian religions. It is a very old idea based on the 7 heavenly objects: Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Anyways, in summary, verses 41:9 to 12 and 2:29 unequivocally gives us this sequence of events. Here you see no contradiction in the Quran whatsoever. Let's keep this in mind. It is going to be extremely important throughout this video. Now, what is the nearest star? It is the sun, right? Did sun form before the earth or after? Intermediate physics tells us that the formation of sun must precede the formation of any planet in the solar system. Age of the sun is 4.63 billion years and that of the earth is 4.54 billion years. Also, if sun was created after the creation of trees and grasses, then how did the grasses and trees do photosynthesis without the sun? Well, science in Quran, everything is possible. Now, you may say that here it is not referring to the sun. Allah completely forgot to mention about the sun, which by the way is the reason behind the sustenance of life on earth. Maybe here Allah is referring to the nearest stars we see in the night sky. Okay, let's go with this argument and let's see what is our nearest stellar system. It is the Alpha Centauri, which consists of 3 stars. What about its age? Well, it is older than the sun, which implies it is definitely older than the earth. There are 53 stellar systems consisting of 63 stars just within 16.3 light years from the earth. Many of these stars are very old. For example, Barnard's star is 10 billion years old. So the Quran verses in question are wrong again. Nearest stars are older than the earth. Let's continue. Did earth really come before everything else in the universe? Well, the universe is 13.7 billion years old and the earth is only 4.5 billion years old. In other words, the earth came into existence 9 billion years after the Big Bang. 9 billion years. So the Quran got the ordering completely wrong. Let's at least try to understand the actual cosmos. This is our Milky Way galaxy with billions of planets and stars, and the Milky Way galaxy is one of the billions and billions of galaxies in our universe. All these took just 2 days to make, but the Earth, which is nothing but an insignificant speck of dust in the astronomical context, took 4 days to make. Isn't that giving too much importance to the Earth? Now, saying this an error is an insult to the word error. Error number 4 is a collection of errors. It completely defies our scientific understanding. Now some elementary maths to shut the mouth of the Muslim scientific miracle folks. What is the ratio of the age of the earth to the age of the universe? It is approximately 1/3. Muslims shamelessly try to show that the age of the earth is 2 days and that of the universe is 6 days, so the ratio becomes 1/3. See for example this website, it is www.miraclesofquran.com. I'm going to read the underlined part. In God's throne time, earth is 2 days old, while the heavens, earth and everything in between are 6 days old. This makes the age of the earth to be 1/3 of the age of the universe. So yeah, you get 1/3 by trickery. It also says the Quran presented it as a ratio 1/3 and this ratio turned out to be correct for any observer, whatever the clock rate. Dear Muslim apologists, you are probably the most dishonest and deceitful people I'm aware of. You fool your own people. Now the actual Quranic creation picture gives a very different number. Now to calculate the ages, since the earth started first, its age should be 6 days and that of the heavens should be 2 days. Now this is a very sad state of affairs. You wanted the ratio to be 1/3 and if you put the actual numbers from these verses, you get 3. You get 3. Oh my God. Oh. So the age ratios of the earth and the universe are completely wrong. There is yet another error, but this is a very funny one. We adorn the nearest heaven with lamps and as protection. So what does protection mean here? Let's see some other verses. Well, Allah cannot differentiate between stars and meteorites. Also, the purpose of meteorites are to protect devils. This is truly scientific, absolutely Nobel Prize winning science. Now let's see what the Hadith of Sahih Muslim has to say about this creation timeline. The reference has been highlighted by this red box. Abu Huraira said, "The Messenger of Allah took hold of my hand and said, Allah the Exalted and Glorious created the earth on Saturday, the mountains on Sunday, the trees on Monday, the things entailing labor on Tuesday, light on Wednesday. He spread out animals of all kinds on Thursday and created Adam in the afternoon on Friday, and it was the last hour of Friday between the afternoon and the night." Note that here day is clearly referred to as Sunday, Monday, etc., which implies a day of 24 hours. As you can see, light was created on Wednesday but trees on Monday. So, among many other things, photosynthesis is also not known to Allah. If you think the miserable performance of the Quran in explaining the cosmic timeline is over, then I have more surprises for you. I am going to show you a sequence of verses in which the cosmic creation story is completely opposite of that we already saw. Are you a more difficult creation or is the heaven? He, in brackets, Allah constructed it. He raised its ceiling and proportioned it. And he darkened its night and extracted its brightness. In some translation, you will see instead of proportioned it, you'll see ordered it or perfected it. And as you can see in 79:28, that heavens have a ceiling. Yeah, absolutely. Heavens have a ceiling. Now, this is borrowed from the geocentric pre-Copernican theological cosmology, especially the Hebrew Bible. Quran says in verses 22-65, and 31:10 that the sky is held up by invisible pillars which prevents it to fall down upon earth. Yes, that's absolutely true. This has been scientifically proven that there are pillars, invisible pillars, which held up the sky. Otherwise, yes, of course, the sky, which is a void, is going to fall upon our heads. Right, absolutely. Nobel Prize winning science. Also, Allah has no clue that we experience day and night because the earth rotates around the sun. Absence of light causes darkness. Let's continue. And after that, he spread the earth. He extracted from it its water and its pasture, and the mountains he set firmly as enjoyment for you and your grazing livestock. So the chronology according to this set of verses is this. Now, of course, we all know that the Quran is an extremely clear book, and if it was not from Allah, then you would have found much contradictions. But unfortunately, the creation timeline according to the verses 79, 27 to 33 completely contradicts that of the verses 41, 9 to 12 and 2, 29. In many websites and forums, you will find Muslims posting questions about this issue and how to reconcile this contradiction. And this contradiction has been mentioned in the tafsir of Ibn Kathir as well. Let's read the lines underlined in red. He's talking about verses 79, 27 to 30. So he mentioned the creation of the heavens before the earth. And now let's read the second line underlined in blue. So it is talking about verses 41, 9 to 12. Here he mentioned the creation of the earth before the creation of the heavens. Now the best Muslim scholars have the following brute force argument. The tafsir of Al-Jalalain says, and after that he spread out the earth, he made it flat, for it had been created before the heaven, but without having been spread out. Now Ibn Kathir has copied the same argument. It initially says that the heavens are created perfectly. You know, heavens adorned by stars, night is made dark, day is brightened. What is more important for us are the lines underlined in red. In brackets, and after that he spread the earth. He explains this statement by the statement that follows it in bracket. And brought forth therefrom its water and its pasture. It already has been mentioned previously in Surah 41 verses 9 to 12 that the earth was created before the heavens was created, but it was only spread out after the creation of the heaven. This is also the explanation given by Muhammad's cousin Ibn Abbas, who is revered as the most knowledgeable Islamic scholar. I have to say that these scholars made a desperate attempt, but unfortunately, the contradiction is so huge that all their gymnastics went in vain. Verses 41, 9 to 12 clearly state that the last thing that was created and completed are the heavens. Event number 3 is after event number 2. Creation of the heavens, which is event number 4, is the last action of Allah, and these set of verses are in complete agreement with the verse 229. So the timeline of creation in verses 41, 9 to 12 and 229 completely contradict with that of 79, 27 to 33. It is absolutely unclear in Quran that whether the heavens came first or the earth came first, whether the mountains and trees came first or whether the stars and light came first.